November Charlie 4, Charlie X-ray.
November Charlie 4, come back with the rest, please.
November Charlie 4, Charlie X-ray. Clint,
November Charlie 4, Charlie X-ray, and the name was Clint. Is that a Roger?
QSL. Yes. How are things in Indiana, James?
Well, kind of noisy, I guess, but I have pretty good conditions on you, sir. What part of North Carolina are you in?
We're in North Carolina, QSL.
Roger, Roger. What part?
We are in north-central North Carolina, 5 miles south of the Virginia state line, QSL.
Oh, roger that. And what radio are you running today, sir?
I'm using my Kenwood 590 TS. The TS-590F, I'm sorry. And the mic I want checked for audio is MC50. It is a Kenwood mic that got made, but it seems to get out pretty good. And I also would like to get a report on the signal strength. Over.
All right. Right at the moment, I'm looking at your output on my from my receiver on a VU meter, and my signal report is your audio set at 0, and then when you stop speaking, it shows my noise level. So your last transmission, you were 10 dB above my noise level, which is a very, very good signal strength-wise. Roger.
Okay, QSL. Yeah, we're dropping you F9 to 10, F9 to 10 here in North Carolina. And I just wanted, and I am running a little power, and didn't know if I needed to turn the amp off or not. Over.
Oh, never, never, ever turn the amp off. Never. There's no reason that I can think of in the world for you to turn that amp off. Roger.
Okay, QSL. Well, it is an old amp. It is a Henry 2K4, and I really enjoy using it. Tunes up really good. Over.
Roger. Well, the only reason I turn it off is if you feared an explosion in shrapnel. Roger.
QSL. Well, this amp I've had a couple of years, I guess, and it's been a good one, and I got it at a real good buy, and the only thing wrong with it, James, was I had to get 2 new 3500Zs for it. They were completely gone. Over.
Roger. Well, it happens, sir. That happens. But, you know, if you run it correctly, those new ones will last, you know, years, really and truly. Now, I'm talking about your audio. I'm looking at, like I said, I'm looking at your audio on a VU meter, and I can tell a lot from my VU meter in regards to your average peak modulation. And right now it looks like your audio is fairly unprocessed, and what we normally try to do is to bring the audio up to about a 3 dB dynamic range. Now at a 3 dB dynamic range, the average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%, which is nice and fat. Not too much, but very, very nice, but very transparent. That was the important thing. So if you would be interested, we start our tuning process by engaging the compressor at about a 3. Now that is not very much as far as the compression is concerned, but it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So if you wanted to try to come up to about a 3 dB dynamic range on your audio, we would start with about a 3 on the compressor. Roger?
Well, QSL. Well, I just wondered how the signal was. I won't get in the way of others that want a real good close check. I just want to make sure that my amp was still working okay and my audio was readable. I do have another mic I could try if that was a problem, but it is an MC60, which is a Kenwood mic, but I don't use it that much. But and I do have a handheld mic for the 590. Hey, thanks so much for your help there, James, and I'll get out of your way and let you help somebody else. Just wanted to be sure my amp was running okay, and the audio was good and crisp. Thanks again, and we'll appreciate it very much. 73's KC9 Victor, Kilo Victor, November Charlie 4, Charlie X-ray, North Carolina. Thank you.
Roger, Roger, Clint. Yeah, if you get a chance, I would add just a little more top-end EQ to that mic, just to try to to brisk it up just a little bit there, because it doesn't sound like it's got a lot of top end for clarity. So if you get a chance, I would add a couple of clicks or 3 on the top end EQ. And gosh, if we get a chance, I would love to get that audio a little fuller. Like, the thing is, if I had a VU meter tied to the output of a PA system, and you were talking on the PA system, I would classify that as about a 10 dB dynamic range. Unprocessed audio has about a 10 dB dynamic range. So if you were on a PA, my meter would show 10 dB of dynamic range. So and that averages out to about 30% of average peak modulation. So my tuning method gives you a 3 dB dynamic range and about a 80 to 85% peak modulation. So maybe we can try that some other day. So we'll say 3s for now, Clint, and you have a real good day. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network program, whichever. If you've got a radio that you want to check out the audio, give us a shout. KC9VKV.